Hello everybody. I have an update. I've been talking about in the past about having my legal name change. Well, last month, in the middle part of October, I went ahead and did it. It was pretty simple. All I had to do was file a petition with the court. It cost me about $200 filing fee, and then part of the process is that the district attorney's office will look at my petition and do a background check to make sure I'm not changing my name for criminal reasons. So I had to submit a copy of the letter from my doctor explaining that I'm transgender and I'm undergoing clinical gender treatment. And that's the reason I'm going to change my name from a male name to a female name. Also, had to get a copy of my driver's license. So it didn't take the district attorney's office very long to validate everything, and they passed a petition on to the judge. And in a few days, I got a call from the judge's secretary telling me that the judge has signed and approved my petition, and I can come over and pick up the judgment. I was really excited about that, and so when I picked it up, I realized then, if it's for real, I am now Jonna legally. So, my next step was to get my driver's license changed, but before I could do that, I had to get my social security number updated. Not actually my number, the number don't change. It's the name on the social security account and also the gender identification too. So I had to go over to the social security office with my judgment and a copy of my letter from the doctor, and so I actually got my social security updated with Jonna, and my gender is female. So that's pretty awesome. And then after the next day, I went over to the DMV to get my new driver's license. I had to have that. That's the most important thing. Because without it, I had my male driver's license. I hated having a male driver's license with my male picture on it, my male name on it. And a lot of times I'm living full time, and it just really just didn't make any sense to me. And it just really embarrassing. So it didn't take long at all to do that. All I had to do was present the letter again, a copy of the judgment showing I legally changed my name, and so that was it. It took no more than a couple hours. Most of us waiting in line. And I was so happy to get my driver's license with my picture ID and my gender identification being F for female. So my next step was to come out at work. I'm out everywhere except for work. I just didn't have the courage, one thing, to do that, because I've been working in my office for such a long time, and everybody knows me as John and not Jonna. And I know that, and it's like, oh gosh, it's going to be so difficult and maybe embarrassing. I don't know how people will react to that sort of thing. So now with my name changed and my identifications changed, I had to come out at work for one thing, because I had to get my personnel records updated and my tax withholding updated and my insurance benefits at work updated and all that sort of thing. So I did come out to my boss. We actually had a business meeting, and we finished the business meeting, and I asked her, "Well, do you have just a few minutes to talk to me?" And she said, "Sure, John." And I said, "I have something to tell you." And she said, "What's that?" I said, kind of just silent, I'm trying to build the courage up. And I finally said, "I'm transgender, and I have a name change." And she kind of thought for a minute. "Oh, okay. I thought there was something going on with you, but I thought it may be something about something else." But yeah, okay, that makes sense. And she asked me, "Well, we need to tell the main boss this, the main director of accounting, and we're going to have to, plan a process of you coming out." And she wanted to know if I had any suggestions or not. And of course, I've been thinking about this and researching it, and I found out that when transitioning at work, one of the good things to do is write a letter to your colleagues and your fellow staff members and peers, explaining to them that your ongoing gender transition, and you're coming out, so forth and so on. Just a letter of explanation. So that's what I did, and so I told her, oh, let me do that and take a week off afterwards, so that there'd be a kind of a break in time, for John, come back, Jonna, and the letter in between explaining what's going on. Perfect, and it was perfect. There was no issues at all. Everybody's been supportive. I can't believe it. I love it. I love being out full time. I love going to work, being myself, and dressing up in the morning and wearing my clothes and stuff, and being so feminine, and it's just so awesome. In fact, I think my work has gotten better because I feel better about myself, and that's the truth. So now that was like in the middle part of October, and I've been living totally full time. And I'm so proud. I'm trans and proud. Yesterday I went to a memorial service. We are not celebrating, but observing and remembering the transgender people who have lost their lives to violence and hate. And I was asked to give a short speech, which I did. I had to speak from the heart. I didn't have any notes, but I did okay. People said I did all right, and we called out the names of the trans people who have lost their lives. There's like 312 worldwide. So this is called the Transgender Day of Remembrance, or the International Transgender Day of Remembrance, because we remember names of people who lost their lives all around the world. And the official date of observance is November 20th, but for convenient reasons, it's Sunday, nobody's at work and so forth. So we did it on November 18th. But it's fluid. You can choose any date in November, actually, to pay the respects. So that was very empowering. And part of my talk was to remind people that we have to be brave and stand for ourselves, and stand against hate, stand against the laws that are being on the books or created to limit us and narrow us in a way like we can't go use the bathroom of our gender identity, making it difficult to get our name changed and our gender changed and our birth certificates changed. Donald Trump is actually wanting to redefine gender in a way that would totally erase transgender as a valid identification. So, in fact, we would be erased as out of existence legally. And we're fighting against that. And we're not going to let it happen. We will not be erased by Trump or anybody else. So we got a lot of challenges ahead of us. And we got to take a stand not only for us now, but we have to stand up for the future generations of trans people, so they don't have it as hard as we have it. Just like in the past, the trans people in the past did their work to make it better for us. So we're just going to have to pass it forward. We are people. We are valid. Just always remember that. I have a boyfriend, and he's, I guess you would say he's trans, but he's actually a cross-dresser. He loves to dress up as a woman, quite frequently, to tell you the truth. But he's not really interested in transitioning. He wants to identify with his male gender, but he just likes to express the femininity. And so we go out together. He's dressed as a woman, and I'm just myself. And we shop, and we go out to dinner, and go to bars and dance and stuff like that. And so when he's not in his female mode, he takes me out. It feels like I'm on a date. He's a guy, and which is wonderful. I love being taken out and pampered. It's just the way it is. It's who I am, and I'm not afraid of that. I'm proud of myself, and I'm just enjoying my life. I think I'm approaching the end point of the actual transition part, and now I'm entering the living full-time part, just being myself, interacting with society every day as myself, and not being afraid. And so the only parts of transition that may be left could be the gender transition surgery, and I talked about that before. The surgery is optional for me. I don't feel like I actually need it. It has a lot of risk associated with that surgery, but my insurance will cover it, and that's something to consider. So that's something to be on the horizon next year. There's also possibly facial feminization surgery. I'm not wanting any implants, breast implants. I got the real thing. Kind of proud of my girls. And I took a measurement tonight before doing this video, and I'm absolutely, definitely a A cup. And I've only been on hormones for 9 months. Well, actually, let's see here. February, 10 months, I think. It just time runs together when you're having fun. And it's a good thing that I haven't experienced any negative side effects from taking the hormones. And my body's really taken to the estrogen, so to speak. I'm getting a very feminine shape. My boyfriend really likes that. He says, she's just like a woman, except, down there, that's where the surgery could make a big difference. So, I don't know. Maybe anybody viewing this has, opinions on the surgery. Go ahead and share that in the remarks section. That would be awfully nice. Well, Thanksgiving's coming up, and I'm going to be cooking Thanksgiving for my son and his wife. I guess that's what I do now. So they're coming over to my house. To be awesome. And then the first part of December, I will be going to Florida, West Palm Beach, to visit my friend and his wife for a week, which is going to be awesome. I need to get away on vacation and all that. Well, I think that's about it I have to share for tonight. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And if you want to leave a remark, please do so. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Good night.